Good evening, Lakewood Volleyball fans. We are bringing you the live stream of the Burlington Edison Tigers visiting the Lakewood Cougars. The Burlington Edison bus arrived late, and so we're going to have a late start. We've got the warm-ups going on. We'll be back with audio when the match starts. We can't have the audio on now because we can violate copyright with the music they're playing and we get it bounced from the platform. So again, we'll be without sound for a while and then we'll be back for the start of the match.
Lakewood High School and Burlington Edison High School are both members of the Washington Interscholastic Activities Association and agreed to cooperate with WIAA policies regarding fair play and scholastic achievement. Lakewood High School students, teachers, and staff welcome and embrace the unique gifts and diversity of all. We see differences as a way to bond and grow rather than as a barrier. We see opportunities when others see obstacles. Our primary goal is to promote a positive and inclusive environment so our school can focus on what matters most: learning, growing, and progressing into positive members of our community. All spectators, athletes, and coaches are encouraged to demonstrate good sportsmanship while supporting the ideals of quality citizenship. Sportsmanship encompasses a passionate community built by athletes, students, and spectators that prioritize respect and bring positivity to the game. Please be a great fan, let the athletes play, let the coaches coach, and let the officials officiate. This year, the 16 member schools of the Northwest Conference launched a new program to recognize the importance of the umpires, referees, and officials who manage our athletic contests. During each of our athletic seasons, the Northwest Conference has designated a week to show our appreciation for officials through the Thank an Official campaign. This week, throughout the NWC, we are recognizing and celebrating our officials. More than 5,000 officials serve Washington State high schools by doing their best to ensure all contests are fair, safe, and fun. Officials are required to register with the State Officials Association, complete annual rules meetings, and attend yearly training clinics. In addition, they spend countless hours in preparation for and traveling to contests. High school officiating is an avocation, not a vocation. It is something done in addition to full-time employment. Officials work for the enjoyment of staying involved with the sports they love and for the opportunity to give back to kids, coaches, and schools. Officials are crucial in providing our student participants an opportunity to learn life lessons through education-based athletics. Enforcing the rules of the game fairly and consistently, and holding students and coaches to behavior expectations are vitally important to successful high school events. We ask all spectators, athletes, and coaches to be especially appreciative of the officials and the great job they do in serving our kids and programs. Without them, there are no games. More officials are needed in all sports and at all levels. For more information on how you can get involved, go to WOAofficials.com for more information on becoming an official. Tonight, we recognize the following officials with a certificate signed by the Northwest Conference President and the Northwest Conference Sportsmanship Coordinator, Mehdi Tahari and Austin Lowell. Thank you for your continued service and support for our schools. All right, volleyball fans, welcome to Lakewood High School. Tonight in volleyball action, we would like to welcome the Burlington Edison Tigers, taking on our very own Lakewood Cougars. The Tigers come here under the direction of head coach Tanya Brewer, and she is assisted by Rachel Zaccardi, Jessica Flory, Carly Watson, and Tessa Martinson. Your Lakewood Cougars are under the direction of head coach Caitlin Evers and assisted by Alyssa Kahn, Audrey Kummer, and Olivia Moore. Again, the officials for tonight's game are Mehdi Tahari and Austin Lowell. They are registered with the WIAA, and their experience and integrity qualify them to administer the rules of the game. So fans, players, and coaches, please give them the respect that they deserve. Now, for tonight's roster, for the Burlington Edison Tigers, number 1, a freshman, Callie Smith. A junior, number 2, Mia Whitlock. A junior, number 3, Lexi Mason. A junior, number 4, Chessa Holmes. sophomore, number 5, Reese Tyler. A freshman, number 6, Andy Smith. A sophomore, number 7, Madeline Squibb. A sophomore, number 8, Mia Ray. And a freshman, number 9, Brooklyn Winan. And now for your Lakewood Cougars. A senior, number 2, Gabby Kinlan. A junior, number 3, Peyton Langham. A sophomore, number 4, Frankie Powers. A sophomore, number 5, Leona Rivera. A senior, number 6, Julie Crispin. A junior, number 8, Meg Omlid. Senior, number 9, Peyton Schultz. Senior, number 10, Laura Johnston. Senior, number 11, Ava Kummer. Senior, number 13, Jacqueline Miyamachi. Now, if everyone could please rise, remove your hats, and join me for the flag salute. I pledge allegiance
Well, the starting lineups have been read. The Pledge of Allegiance has been done. We've had a nice long speech about be nice to the officials, and we are ready to play volleyball. The Cougars won their season opener at Cascade. And they had lost their home opener to Meridian 3-2. So this much improved Cougar team has its sights set on the Burlington Edison Tigers tonight. They are at a significant size disadvantage with just one player over 6 foot tall. Ava, we've been calling her Avalon. She goes by Ava, according to the pre-game announcements. And she'll be up against a trio of 6-footers, Mia Whitlock, Lexi Mason, and Chisa Holmes. Frankie Powers, also from last year, had a great year as a freshman, comes back as a sophomore now at 5'11" as a middle hitter. Tonight's starters are Kummer, Kinsland, and it looks like number 5, who I don't have on my roster, so hopefully we can get that. We think that's Leona Rivera. And the first serve by the Cougars is in, and here comes the Tigers on the attack. Joining Julie Crispin, Ava Kummer, and we'll get that last starter. And that's a penalty over the line. So point back for the Cougars, tying the match up at 1. And that ball is served in for the ace. Ava Kummer with the big serve. Finds the back line, giving the Cougars a lead at 2-1. Just underway here. We're starting approximately half an hour late. Burlington Edison's bus was not here on time. And that spike is into the net. Oh, it's going to be called a block. So that's going to be out off the Cougars. And the set is tied at 2. As I was saying, just underway. 2-2 in the opening set of the match. Ball served wide, service error. Cougars take a 3-2 lead. That's Crispin to serve, and she serves it long, and we're all tied up at 3. Mia Whitlock, the 6-foot junior, now to serve for the Tigers. Cougars get a chance to run their offense. That's Kamir from the back line. Flicked over by the setter. Good defense by Kinsland, but hit out by Powers. Oh, they're calling that a touch. So off the Burlington Edison block and out of bounds. That's a point for the Cougars. First sub of the night into the game is Laura Johnson, and Liana Rivera will sit down. Johnson comes right into the game and will serve. Big left-handed spike, dug nicely by Kinsland. Outside to Omlid. Scher's blocked. And that spike is in. Peyton Langham, number 3, into the game. So we've got Langham, Powers, and Cummer's in the back. Omlid up front. Johnson, Kinsland, and Kamir at the back. Point for the Tigers. They've now taken a 5-4 lead. Free ball over. Now we're going to back set it to the lefty. Goes down the middle. Dug by the Cougars. Great job by Kamir. Again, this time the lefty Lexi Mason goes down the line and she puts it in. So great dig by the Cougars to save that first spike, but this time no one was home as she went down the line. Tyler to serve, and it is out. Megan Omlid now to serve. Jousted at the net. Tigers lose. Cougars, they don't quite get the ball over the net. That was Mia Ray trying to just push it over the block, pushes it into the net. Cougars tied up at 6. Bit of a back set. Now the back row to Omlid. She goes long and it's in. Great shot by Megan Omlid from the back row. Cougars take the lead. Omlid to serve. Off the block, Johnson with the dig. Set by Cummer, tries to get it back over. Just can't quite do it. And that will be ball back to the Tigers, tied up at 7. That serve is into the net. So right now the Tigers have relied heavily on good defense and trying to get Lexi Mason, a senior hitter, to put the ball in play. There it is to the aforementioned Mason, and back to her, the front of the net. Cummer can't get the block, and that will be a point for the Tigers. Tied up at 8. Mason to serve. Omlin looks for an overpass. Langham tries to tip it over, but she's met at the net by Mia Whitlock. Goes right back down for the Cougars. Burlington Edison with the point, and they retake the lead, 9-8. Ball is served wide. Delora Johnson wisely lets it sail out of bounds. Tied back up. Rivera back in for Johnson. Langham now to serve for the Cougars. Into the net. Point for the Tigers. Back set to Cummer. She tips it over, but on her momentum, she carries her under the net. And Burlington Edison now has a 2-point lead. That's the largest lead of the set for either team. Again, the back set to Cummer, who goes cross court but hits it out long. Nice to see Cummer take an aggressive swing at that. Langham sets Rivera. And now right in the middle, Cummer with the dig. And now free ball. Set again into the middle. That's twice Whitlock's been dug. Omlin now from the back goes long. Cummer with the dig to Omlin. And now Cummer's going to go cross court, but into the net. Good rally. Good hitting. And we are going to have a timeout. So head coach Caitlin Evers calls a timeout. Cougars trail 13-9 here in set 1 of this match with the Burlington Edison Tigers. And it looks like Langham may have stepped under. Oh, it calls Langham for the double hit. So a little 5 points rally for the Tigers from tied at 9. They now have a 14-9 lead. Cummer puts it over. Now we're going to see in the middle. The Tigers like that middle set to either Whitlock or Mason. That was Whitlock. Omlin with the spike. Returns. Cross court. It's Langham. Cummer just flips it over with a knuckle. And that's going to be a point for the Cougars as the Tigers are called for being into the net. So the 5-0 run is stopped by the Cougars, now trailing by 4. Cummer to serve. And Whitlock just spikes that into the floor. And the point for the Cougars. That's outside to Whitlock, off the block and out of bounds. Point for the Tigers. That service is long. Cougars down 3 at 15-12. Kinsland out. Oh, and that spike goes off Cummer and off the back wall. Crispin back in, Kinsland out. So it's Omlid, Cummer, and Kinsland in the back. Powers, Langham, and Rivera up front. Omlid with the little dink, not there. Cummer from the back row. Tigers playing good defense. And that one is hit long by Mason. Point for the Cougars. They again creep back to within 3. Johnson in, Rivera out. Nice dig by Johnson. Here she comes again. This time it's a dink. Omlid gets it alive. Cummer from the back row. And this time Mason hits it into the net. Great defense by the Cougars. Good hitting. It's Mason going cross court. Langham is there. Good defense. An overpass. And Mason slams it back down. Cougars have climbed to within 2 at 16-14. Now trail by 3, 17-14. Powers with the touch. Back to Mason in the middle. Johnson there, directed over by Langham. Nice dig by Whitlock. Megan Omlin to hit off the block. Dug by Whitlock again. Or no, excuse me, that was Chelsea Holmes that time. Omlin hits it, and she gets it down. Megan Omlin from the left side. Puts it away. Cougars back to within 3 at 18-15. Pushed over by the setter. Omlin from the back line. Dug nicely, now into the middle. And one more time, that's the lefty Mason putting it down. This time, instead of going down the middle, she found the right sideline. And it's a point. Burlington Edison by 4. Set to Powers. Can't quite get her foot together. A little close to the net. Just pushes it over. Back set to Omlin. And that can't be dug, and it's out. Megan Omlin with another spike. Another point for the Cougars. Crispin in, Kinsland out. Now Frankie Powers to serve. (2016) now. The return to serve, overpass, joust at the net. Langham does a great job of getting it back, but Cummer just puts it right into the net. And that's going to be another timeout. So 21-16, Burlington Edison leads in set number 1. And we'll be back 50 seconds after this timeout. Almond with return. Langham forces it deep. Going to set the middle again, and a little bit of a miss hit. Flutters over the block, and they're going to call Mia Whitlock for being into the net. And that's going to be a point for the Cougars. Cougars just hanging in there, down 4. They were tied at 9. Burlington Edison went on a 5-0 run, and the Cougars have pretty much played them even since then, trailing by 4 with service. Johnson out, Rivera in. The ball hits the roof, hits the mat, that's in play. Point for the Cougars. There's a curtain that's strung in the middle of the gym to divide the gym in half. It's in play, and that ball hit that curtain, even though it's up as high as it can go. Point for the Cougars now, trailing by 3. Great dig by Cover, good touch by Rivera. Back to the spike for Whitlock, and Whitlock hits it into the net. Cougars back to within 2, 21-19. And that return of service is an overpass, goes in and under the net. Cougars back to within 1. And now Coach Tanya Brewer, as things tighten up, have called a timeout. So Burlington Edison timeout. Cougars trail by 1 with service, 21-20. We'll be back in 45 seconds. Peyton Langham to serve. Cougars trailing by 1. Deep serve again, overpass. That's touched over right into the middle of the Cougar defense. Mia Whitlock, who's had a couple of missed hits recently, just taps one over the outstretched arms of the blocker and finds a hole in the middle of the Cougar defense. Tigers by 2, 22-20. And that serve is into the net. Cougars now trail by 1. Avalon Comer to serve. And that ball is tapped down by Julie Crispin. We are all tied up. I'm hoping that you can still be watching this. My YouTube just shut down. So I'm hoping you're still with us. Tied up at 22. Nice dig. Back row Comer. And she hits it, and it's out. And the Cougars have the lead at 23-22. And Burlington Edison calls timeout again. And we're back. It's 23-22. Cougars lead by 1. Good comeback. I hope you're still with us. My iPad just shut down. We're going to keep going. It looks like we're still going. Rivera puts it back. Now we got a spike in the middle. Oh, and Langham and Comer can't quite get it. It's all tied up at 23. Serve, Comer with the return. Langham with the set. Crispin puts it over. It's a good spike by Whitlock. Put back over. Cougars defense. Gonna be a joust at the net. There's Kinsland. Crispin flips it over. Comer with the return. Jousted over. And now Burlington saves it. Might have gone out, but better safe than sorry. Oh, it looked like a carry to me, but that ball is out, and the Cougars lead by 1, 24-23. What a great rally. That service is out. We're going to be all tied up. (25-24) now, Tigers lead. Oh, and it just curls over the net for a point. How disappointing for the Cougars. They didn't even get a chance to play it. That ball hits the top of the tape and spins over. Very sad way to end this hotly contested game. 26-25. Cougars lose. 24. So we are 3 minutes in between games. We'll be back in 2 minutes for the second set of the match. Well, if that set is any indication about how the rest of the season is going to go, we're in for a very exciting volleyball season. That was an outstanding game. Great comeback by the Cougars, and just an unfortunate tape net. That ball is 2 inches lower on the serve. Cougars have the ball at a 20 and serving at 25 all. Instead, it falls free, and the Cougars lose 26-24. Set number 1. Burlington Edison to serve. This is Whitlock. And she will serve to start. And that set by Langham for not sure who. Crispin tried to get it, but she probably wouldn't have been able to get it over the net. So early point for the Tigers. Johnson, Omlid, Crispin. No, Kinsland, check that. In the back. There's Crispin right there. Johnson putting it over. Cummer and Langham at the front. Cross court, great dig by Omlid. Free ball over by Kinsland. We've seen some great defense by the Cougs play tonight. And there is Mason trying to go down the middle, but it's long. And that's a point for the Cougs as they tie it up at 1. Early in set number 2. Rivera in for Johnson. Langham to serve. It's going to be a free ball for the Cougars. That's Crispin blocked. Kinslam gets it up. Cummer tries to get it over with their little knuckle, and it just does not crawl over the net. Kaylee Smith out, the 9th grade libero. And in is number 8, Mia Ray. 5'2", outside hitting sophomore. Cummer tries to just flip it over. There's Mason. Now it's set outside to Cummer. She goes deep down the middle. No trouble for the defense. There's Ray, the outside hitter that just came into the game. And set up for Omelet. Omelet and Crispin get mixed up. The ball goes free. Tigers lead 3-1. And that's served by Reese Tyler, 5'6" sophomore, hits into the net. Cougars point, trailing now 3-2. Cummer to serve. Ava Cummer started out the game with an ace. Let's see how she can do here. Outside to Omelet, and Omelet puts it down the line and in. Megan Omelet has been a force hitting the ball. Not sure why the Burlington Edison coach is holding the ball, but she is. Cummer ties the match up at 3. And this serve is into the net. And the Cougars trail by 1. Langham sets Crispin. She pushes it over. Great dig by the Tigers. Outside now to Omelet. Omelet just tries to push it down the line. Burlington Edison once again has a service error, hits the ball into the net. Cougars ball, trailing 5-4. Outside, just pushes it over the block. Lexi Mason's gone away from some of the power game early on. Has now gone to more of a finesse game and just trying to push it over the top of the block. And now Mason to serve. Tigers up by 2, 6-4. Outside to Omelet, goes cross court and down. Megan Omelet once again with authority cross court. Johnson for Rivera, and Johnson will serve. Outside and blocked. There's Frankie Powers with the block. And we're all tied at 6. And Laura Johnson to serve. This time, Whitlock chooses to hit above and to float it above the block. Cummer returns it. looking for some open space. Johnson will set Omelet, and Omelet goes cross court again, and it's in. Megan Omelet. And the Cougars take a 7-6 lead. This time it's to the middle. Nice defense by Langham. Comer from the back row hits it into the net. Kaylee Smith with the serve. Omelet flips it over. And that ball is out, and it's trying to bring it back, and he cannot do it. Nice try by Reese Tyler, but the ball was just a little too far out of bounds and off to the side. Cougs have an 8-7 lead. Oh, big hit. Johnson can't return it. Cougs now leading 9-8. And that ball again is just floated over by Whitlock. Burlington has really gone away from their power game, playing much more of a finesse game now, just trying to flick the ball over the blocks and seeing if they can't float it in. It's tied at 9. Deep serve, Omelet's there. Comer looks down the line. Smith can't get to it, but chased down. Now it's a free ball over. And Comer's there. Back to Omelet from the back row, and she hits it long. Tigers take a 1-point lead here at 10-9, set number 2, leading 1-0. Johnson can't handle the serve, and it's out of bounds for an ace. Tigers take a 11-9 lead. It was tied at 9 in set number 1. When the Tigers went on a 5-0 run, 5 straight serves, and the Cougars really struggled to get back in the game. They finally were able to tie it at 24, but that just was too much of a hill to climb. They couldn't get back in it, and now the Tigers have ripped off 4 straight points to take a 3-point lead, as that ball by Mason was in and found the line. Whitlock to serve. In fact, this was the combination before that I believe got the Cougars their points. This is a difficult rotation apparently for the Cougars. Nice block in the net by Comer and Crispin. Now they're going to Mason again, and she fires it down the middle. First time block, second time through the block. And at 13-9, now Coach Caitlin Evers is calling a timeout. 60-second timeout. We'll be back in 55. 13-9. Tigers leading set number 2, 1-0. Tigers still serving. Whitlock. Cougars trying to stem the tide. Comer tried to do something there. Not quite sure if she was trying to finesse it cross court or just pushed over the block, but it fell free. 14-9 now. 6 straight points for the Tigers, who trailed 9-8. Crispin cross court, dug nicely by Smith. That's Mason. And now we're going to be called for a double hit. 15-9. Whitlock again continues to serve. Comer goes cross court. That was Holmes. And Crispin circling behind on the spike. And that time Mason's finesseful dink falls short into the net. Cougars stop the run. It's 15-10. Cougars trail by 5. Johnson out, Rivera in. Mason blocked by Comer and Crispin, but unable to get it back on the Tiger side of the net. So point for the Tigers. Tigers now lead by 6. Into the game is Mia Ray. Reese Tyler to serve. It's Mason going cross court. Omley couldn't get it. 17-10. And an ace. And another timeout, 60-second timeout. We'll be back in 55. Cougars trail 18-10. Tyler to serve. Tigers leading by 8. That ball might have been out. Lane couldn't be sure, had to return it. Omlett puts it over. This is going to go back to Mason. Mason goes down the side, and it's in. Mason's gone after having a few blocked and missing a few. She went to the finesse of trying to push a few over the net, just beating the block. And after having done that, she's gone back to her power game. And that's another one of those powerful spikes. And here she goes cross court. Kinslin's there. Crispin hits it. And this will be a joust at the net. Mason tips it over to the back line to Omlid. We're going to set Omlid again. And that blocked by Mason. Comer puts it over. Tyler has it. Mason dinks it over. Good defense. Now Comer gets it over. Good defense by the Cougs. A little bit of scrambling there. They're able to get it back. Omlin with a good dig. Crispin puts it over, tapped by the block. Now back to Mason in the middle. That's Langen. Omlin again from the back row. Then Mason again with the block. So good defense by the Cougars. Had to scramble a little bit, but Mason just keeps hitting the ball. And that one finally found some yellow. Kinsland with the overpass on the return from serve, and Mason's there to knock it down. 21-10 Cougs. Cougs had a 9-8 lead, but since then, the Tigers have gone on a 12-1 run. (13-1 run), 22-10. Mason off the block, 23-10. Been pretty clinical at this point now. The Tiger offense is carving up the Cougar defense. And that's an ace. Comer can't get under it to pop it up. This is now set point, 24-10. And that ball is served into the net. Cougars get a reprieve. They now trail 24-11. They need to run off 13 straight to tie it up. Comer to serve. And this is Mason just dinking it over the block. Kinsland can't get there. Point for the Tigers, and that's the set. So after a very close, hotly contested set number one that the Tigers won 26-24, after being behind 9-8, they run it out 16-2 at the end and win this set 25-11. We've got 3 minutes in between sets. We'll be back in 2 minutes and 45 seconds for set number 3. Well, we're ready for set number 3. Omlid, Powers, Langham, Rivera, Johnson, Crispin. Check that, not Powers. Kinsley. And again, there's Mason with the dink. Crispin with the dink over the block. Outside to, that came over the outside of the pylon. So that ball was hit by Reese to the referee's side of the stanchion, and that is out of bounds. So the Cougars take a 1-0 lead. And Mason hits it into the net, blocked by Kinsland. And they're going to say it wasn't blocked. They're going to say it was just hit into the net. And so by hitting it again, that was a 4 hits. Point for the Cougars. Nice dig. Langham with the long arm. And out. Mason hits it long. Cougars jump out 3-0. And Mason tries to just dink it over, and it's short into the net. Four 0 Cougs. Burlington Edison only dressed 7 players tonight. They've had some pretty tough contested games. We'll see if it's into their legs. Johnson flips it over. Powers to Rivera. That's Rivera. Back to Omlid. And Mason once again hits it into the net. It's about her 3rd or 4th unforced error. We'll see if she has a chance to get her legs back underneath her. 5-0 Cougs lead. Timeout, Burlington Edison. We'll be back in 55 seconds. Cougs leading 5-0. And Mason hits it, and she hits it out. So as good as she was in set number 2, she's been equally not good in set number 3. 6-0 for the Cougs. And that ball is out. So Burlington Edison on the scoreboard, trailing by 5 at 6-1. And Johnson is unable to return that serve. And that ball is long. So Reese Tyler, who served out the match, the set in set number 2, is only able to get one in, and then she sails that one long. Comer in for Johnson, and she's going to serve. And Comer's serve. Going to set the backside to Mason. She goes cross court. Comer's able to get her hands on it, but it goes out of bounds. Floating serve, Comer is able to return that one. Omelet from the outside, and that's blocked by Mason. So 7-4, Cougs lead by 3. Ball's hit deep, and it is in. The linesman calls that in, and the coaches from Burlington Edison are incensed. They're sure that ball was out. The linesman went and put the ball right on the line where she said it hit. So right now it's a point for the Cougars. We don't have instant replay or anything like that tonight, so it will be a discussion to see whether the officials want to overturn the linesman or not. And they're going to call a redo. Referee, coach wants an explanation. She doesn't like what she gets, but she's going to have to live with it. So here's the redo, and that ball's hit into the net. If I were playing basketball on the street right now, I'd say the ball does not lie, and that just proves that that ball was in. But we're not, and I'm not, and we're going to play on. Comer with a nice return. Langham back to Comer, who hits it. Mason. And Mason is able to hit that one in. 8-5, Cougars lead. Omelet cross court, Smith with the dig, but she hits it into the net. Point for the Cougars, subbing in now for Rivera. See if we can't get that number. It looks like it's 13, Jacqueline Namachi. Hit outside, that spike down the line. Namachi's there. The block is not able to get to that one. It goes out of bounds. Cougar ball. Langham sets Omelet, goes down the middle. Mason's there. That's Whitlock. Back to Omelet, who now tries to float it by Mason. She's there. Back to Whitlock. Nice job by Langham to get it up and over. Langham is able to flip it up and over. Point for the Cougars. (10-6) Cougars lead. Megan Omlin to hit. It's an overpass met by Powers. This time blocked by Powers, gets it up in the air. Johnson hits it over. Mason with the dig. Outside to Holmes. Namachi with the save. And they're going to call Burlington into the net. And that's going to be a Cougar point. Cougars lead by 5, 11-6. Spiky to Powers in the middle. Powers gets it down. Frankie Powers gives the Cougars a 6-point lead, 12-6. And Burlington Edison calls another timeout. 12-6 Cougar lead, trailing 2-0 here in Lakewood. We will be back in 50 seconds. Megan Omlin to serve for the Cougars. Leading by 6 at 12-6. Omlin with the dig. Langham flicks it over. Whitlock with the dig. Now Omlin from the back row hits the top of the net. That's Holmes. Nice dig by Namachi. Nice dig again by Namachi. Megan Omlin. One more time to Holmes. This time they can't return the block. 12-7. This has been the time of the game, right around this 9 or 10 mark, where Burlington Edison has really taken over. Jacqueline Damachi with a couple of big digs that time. Kept the Cougar rally alive. They just couldn't get the offense rolling to put one away. Crispin back in for Kinsland. Powers to serve. Cougars leading 13-7. Holmes down the line. Powers couldn't dig it. Now she'll have a seat. 13-8. Tigers trail by 5 with the serve. Off the net cord. Good dig by Kinsland. Omlin puts it over. To Mason, dig by Kinsland, to Omlin. It's the touch by Mason at the net. She wants it again. This time she dinks it. Oh! Crispin gets her hands on it. Couldn't quite get it up in the air so that her teammates could return it. 13-9, Cougs lead by 4. Whitlock to serve for the Tigers. Namachi with the return. Mason's right there at the net on the overpass. And now it's 13-10. Tigers creeping ever so close. Johnson sets Omlid off Mason at the net. And Mason goes, there's Omlid. That's Schultz. Or excuse me, that's Langham. And point for the Tigers. 13-11. Cougars' lead is shrinking. Langham, Johnson gets it deep, going outside there. And that's going to be, not sure what that is. Referee pointed both directions. Whatever it is, it's Cougar point. Must have called Burlington Edison into the net. Cougars lead 14-11. Rivera back in now for Namachi. She gave some good minutes, especially on the defensive side of the net. Langham, Mason, there's Chris Kinsland. Omlid touched at the net, kept alive. Now from the back row, and Whitlock hits it out. Cougars lead by 4, 15-11. It's Reese Tyler with the hit. Back now Mason. Tries to put it over. Rivera's there. To Omlin in the back row. And they're going to say it did not go off Mason. It went out of bounds. Mason's challenging every spike that Omlin's hitting from the back row. Right up at the net. 15-12. Cougars lead. Trailing 2-0. And Crispin. There's Tyler. And that goes around the post. And so Mia Ray's hit is out of bounds. Comer now for Johnson. Comer will serve. Cougars lead by 4. Comer goes cross court and it sails wide. Cougars now lead by 3. Free ball over. Set to Mason. We're going to call a carry or a double hit. Point for the Cougars. Good save, dig by Crispin. Nice save by Omlid. Now it's to Mason to hit into the block. Kept alive by Powers. Back row Comer, but she hits it long. Good defense by the Cougs that time. Did a great job at the net blocking. Powers was there. Omlid was there. Comer just unfortunately hit it a little long. 17-14. Point for the Tigers, 17-15 now, Cougar lead. Little miscommunication. Powers tries at the last minute to get it over, and she can't do it in play. Ball rolls out of bounds. It's going to be a Tiger point. Cougars lead by 1, 17-16. Cougar coach Caitlin Evers wants a timeout, 60-second timeout. We'll be back in 55. You're watching the Cougar live stream. That set was just a little too close to the net, and Omlid couldn't get there, and we are all tied at 17. So after having a 6-point lead at 12-6, the Tigers have fought all the way back to tie it up at 17. Omlid goes cross court, not there, barely put over the net by their outside player. And Frankie Power was waiting there, and she pounced on that and put it down, giving the Cougars the lead at 18-17. Jacqueline Namachi now into the game to serve. Holmes hits it, and now it's Frankie Powers who hits it long, all tied up at 18. Mia Ray to serve now for the Tigers. Good dig, good defense by the Cougars. Omlid flips it over. Cross court. Dig by Comer. Omlid. And Omlid gets it down and in. Megan Omlid puts the Cougars ahead by 1. 19-18. Omlid to serve. Mason can't handle it. Ace for the Cougars, who now have a 2-point lead at 20-18. Another ace for Omlid. 21-18. See if Omlid can close this game out with service. Cougs need 4 points. Burlington Edison went to call a timeout. They've already called their 2 timeouts this game. They can't call another timeout. It's one of those great dilemmas. If you call them early, which they needed to do to get back into the game, you don't have them late when you want them. But if you don't call them early to get back in the game, you don't need them late. And that's an ace for Omlid. 22-18. Kylie Smith into the game. Another ace for Omlin. 23-18. Smith, off base into Smith, just floated over. Powers has it. Setting Powers back up. She just floats it over. There's Namachi. Johnson. Coming in the middle, and that ball was long. This is set point for the Cougars, leading 24-18. Cross court, Namachi can't hit it and get it saved. So 24-19 now, Cougs by 5, trailing 2-0 in this best-of-5 match. Flipped over by Langham, scrambling by the Tigers. This time we set Powers circling behind. Good dig by Kinsland. Set Johnson. Flipped over by Powers, but a little piece of yellow is found on that return of service, a return of that spike. 24-20. Holmes with the serve. Powers tries to find a spot, can't do it. Now it's hit to Whitlock. Johnson hits it to Mason. Going to set Whitlock in the middle. Kinsland, Omlin, over by Langham. Mason set it outside. Nice dig by Johnson. Touched over by Powers. And it's out. Powers gets it down. And the Cougs win. Burlington's bench is incensed. They wanted a call. They didn't get it. And the Cougars win 25-20. Taking game set number 3. They still trail 2-1. 3 minutes to go before we start set number 4. We'll be back in 2:45. All right, we're back. Set number 4. Cougs trail 2-1. Got a big lead early and held on. They fought off the Burlington Edison Challenge, who got even at 18. They had a 6-point lead at 12-6, tied it up at 18, and then they took it off to the end, winning 25-20. This is a net court away from being a 2-set to 1-set lead for the Cougars, as they lost set number 1, 26-24, on a serve that just hit the net court and curled over. Very tightly contested game 1 and game 3. Tigers to serve. Ball got caught into the curtain and they were able to get it over. Saw that earlier where the Tigers were not able to hit one of the curtain. Onward with a long run despite that. And blocked at the net by Crispin. Julie Crispin getting up and blocking that spike as the Cougars take a 1-0 lead. Namachi comes out. Rivera is in. Langen with the serve. Down the line, Langen with the dig. Crispin puts it over. Whitlock tries to finesse it in. Crispin tries to spike it, and she does not quite get on top of it. The ball falls short into the net. Ball gets in. Crispin with the return of service. Omelet. Rivera going cross court. In the middle, and that's Whitlock. (3-1) Tiger lead. Johnson with the serve, return of serve. Lane, great job getting it back into the court. Omlin puts it over. Whitlock in the middle, and off Langen, out of bounds. Comer now going to come in for Johnson. Tigers lead 4-1 here in set 4. And that ball finds Comer and flips out of bounds. 5-1 Tiger lead. This time Comer returns the serve, gets right back to her for the spike. There's Mason. And that's off the block. Set to Omelet in the back. There's Omelet with the return of the spike, and she gets it back, and she puts it down. That's a kill for Megan Omelet. Cougars get back the ball of the serve, and they trail 5-2. Comer with the serve, goes cross court, digs it. Crispin gets it. Free ball over, deep into the corner. Whitlock in the middle, off the block. Langham's there, covers there. Crispin puts it over. Again, this time it goes outside to Holmes. And they're going to call the Cougar block into the net. Crispin with the spike, Mason with the return and the dig. Cross court by Reese Tyler, no one's there. Point for the Tigers as they now take a 7-2 lead. Little miscommunication. Thought he was going to get it between Langham and Crispin. And it falls down. Now the Tigers have an 8-2 lead, and they're going to call a timeout. Cougars call a timeout. Trailing 8-2 here in set number 4, trailing 2-1. 60-second timeout. Back in 55. Tigers serve up 6. Rivera, and Mason can't get to that one. Rivera with the kill. Cougs trail by 5 now. Crispin with the serve. Setting Omlin. Mason with the dig. Langham pushes it over. And that's Whitlock with the little push. And it's over and down. Tigers lead by 6. Omlin down the line and in. Megan Omlin with the kill. Stops the Tiger run. Brings the Cougars back to within 5 at 9-4. And that's an ace for Jacqueline Namachi. Namachi to serve. Cougs trailing by 4. Mason tries to just push it over. Omlin tries to push it over. And that time it was Weinherz who tried to push it over. Now it's Mason going to hit hard down the middle. And the ball is out. Was there a touch? Wow. Referees, that ball was way out. Question is, was there a touch at the net, not whether that ball was in. Not sure what this conversation could even be about. And point for the Cougars. Cougs trail 9-6. Namachi with the serve. And she serves it out. Omelet with the touch over into the block. It comes down. It's out of bounds. And it's a point for the Cougars. Omelet to serve. Cougars trailing 10-7. Tigers trying to close out the match. Going to start hitting Mason. Mason tries to finesse it over. The block is there. This time she hits it. The block is there. Now to Comer. From the back row, that was Whitlock. And Frankie Powers to hit. Whitlock is there. Set to Mason, who hits it into the net. Cougars trail by 2, 10-8. That serve is long. Langhamshire sets Powers, and the block is there. 12-8 now. Tigers lead halfway there with a 4-point lead. Set to Powers. It's dug by the Tigers. Cross court. Crispin setting Comer. And she goes cross court but long. Timeout for the Cougars, trailing 13-8. 60-second timeout. We'll be back in 55. Looking cross court to Comer. Outside to the Tigers, trying to go long. Over Namachi's head. Omelet with the great save. Comer tries to get it back over. Can't quite do it. And it's a point for the Tigers, who now have a 6-point lead at 14-8. And that's into the net. Gift for the Cougars. Now they trail by 5 at 14-9. Point for the Cougars. Powers to serve. That's an ace. 14-11. Here come the Cougs. Mason down the line. Good dig by Powers. Hammer puts it over. Gonna go back to Mason right down the middle. Powers is there. Oh, it hits the ceiling. And is out. Powers was right there to dig it. She comes out. Kinsland comes in. 15-11. Cougs trail by 4. Mason to serve. Set comer. Outside to Holmes. Dug by Namachi. Omlin fires down that kill. With Mason in the back row, no one's there to challenge Omlin at the net. She puts another kill down. Cougars back to within 3, 15-12. Whitlock goes cross court. Good defense by the Cougars. Now it's at the net. Comer watches it float up into her kill zone and puts it straight down. A kill for Avalon. Comer. Cougars point. Trailing by 2. What a gift for the Cougars, and they took advantage. Another good serve by Langham. Outside, the block was there, but it's out of bounds. Whitlock gets the kill. Point for the Tigers, now leading 16-13. And that's Crispin. Hits the curtain. Comes straight down. Point for the Cougars. Cougs trail by 2, 16-14. Langham to serve. No, Comer to serve. Overpass, Crispin at the net. Mason hits it. Popped up by Langham. Kinsland puts it over. Dug by Mason. It's Comer to the setter. To Crispin. Dug by the Tigers. The block. Now back to Rivera. Dug by the Tigers. Dinked over, but Kinsland was there. Comer pushes it over. Hit by Whitlock. Cougars thought it was going out. It landed in. Good rally by each team. Good defense played by each team. Finally, that was put away by Mia Whitlock, the junior middle hitter, giving the Tigers a 3-point lead. 17-14. Crispin hits it into the net. 4-point lead, 18-14. Langham flicks it over. Crispin tries to get it. Dug by the Tigers. That ball was tipped. Went out, but the referee says it was tipped at the net. 5-point lead now for the Tigers, 19-14. It's getting kind of late for a comeback. We'll see what can happen. They did it in set number 1 when they were down by this far. Got back to tied at 24. See if the Cougs have one more run in them. Crispin with the hit. Now this is Whitlock. Floats it over to the back row to Cummins. There's Mason. And that's Whitlock who mistimes her hit. Tries to float another one over. (19-15). Cougs trail by 4. Crispin to serve. The block is there. A great block by Powers and Omlin. Sends it back to the Tigers. Tigers can't get it back over to the net. Cougars now trail by 3, 19-16. Crispin to serve. Cross court, Langham has it to Omlin. Omlin goes down the line and it's in. Megan Omlin with another kill. Brings the Cougs to within 2. Tanya Brewers has seen enough. She wants a timeout. Cougars trail 2-1. Trail by 2 here in set number 4. 60-second timeout. We'll be back in 55. Julie Crispin to serve. Cougs trail by 2. Good serve. Cross court. Oh, that ball was headed out, and Langham reached her hand out. Just tried to get it back on. I think that ball might have gone out. Not sure her team was talking to her. Point for the Tigers. They now lead 20-17. Cummer with the return of serve. Setting Omelet on the outside off the block. Now they're going to Mason in the middle. And Mason hits it out. Cougars back to within 2 at 20-18. Namachi coming in for Rivera. And she's going to serve. And an ace for Namachi. Cougs trail by 1. This time they handle the serve, go to Mason. Nice job by Omlin. Looking for some yellows. Was Langham. Mason's going to hit it. She hits it into the net. And we're tied at 20. Cougs have come all the way back. So tied at 20, Namachi with the serve. Going to set Mason on the outside. She just floats one over. Kinslin's going to set Cummer in the back row. Now we're back to Mason in the middle. She went wide as the block was straight ahead. Langham hits it out. Cougs trail by 1. Back set to Omelet, goes cross court, puts it down, ties up the set, 21-21. Mason goes cross court, and Namachi's there with the dig. Langham keeps it in the defensive side. Come here, puts it across. Mason again, this time she goes down the line and it's in. Lexi Mason has been the dominant player for the Tigers tonight. That was to Cummer. It's an into the net. Tigers have a 2-point lead, 23-21. Turn of serve to Cummer. It's off the block. They're going to set Mason in the middle. She hits it off the net. Well, they're going to say it was off the block, so they get the 4th hit. Cummer goes cross court. Again, this time it's a back set. Cummer is there, but it blocked and it goes out of bounds, off the block. Point for the Tigers. Tigers now lead 24-21, serving for the match. Omelet from the back row. Point for the Cougars. Kill for Omelet. Cougars come back to within 2. It's still match point at 24-22. Frankie Powers to serve. Crispin, Langham, Cummer, Namachi, and Omelet with Powers serving. And she hits it into the net, and the match is over. Tigers win 25-22. An anticlimactic end to the match. The final score is going to read Burlington Edison Tigers 3, Lakewood Cougars 1, but that's not going to tell the whole story. Set number 1, very competitive, won in overtime, 26-24 by the Tigers, and this is a 25-22 win in set number 4. Cougars won set number 3, 25-20. Really an excellent outing tonight. Our first volleyball match of the live stream. We're going to be back for the rest of their season. We have cross country tomorrow at 4, soccer tomorrow at 7. Nothing on Thursday night. Then we've got home football on Friday night with the high-flying Anacortes Seahawks coming to Lakewood. And then we also have soccer at 2 o'clock on Saturday. So several more events on the live stream. If you want to know what we're doing or where we are, like us on Facebook, subscribe to us on YouTube, Lakewood School District number 306, and you can find our events. Thanks for coming, everybody, tonight and watching. Great match for Baldeep Singh on the backside, Laurel Leach on the camera. Melanie Irish is always monitoring our social media. Kate Thronson, our director here from the school. Thanks, everybody. Good night. And I'd say drive safely, but it's us to drive safely because you're already home. Good night, everybody.